Hello, what's up everybody? I'm Adam Tocholke, also known as EKLO. My Twitch is I am EKLO. So today we are looking at 25 to 50 big blinds, MTTs, so straight chip EV. We're not doing any ICM or anything like that. We're just going to be looking at mid-stacked MTT play, and we're using a GTO wizard, so we're looking at a solver. And the idea here is to try and get to understand how solvers work. Not necessarily memorize and play only GTO, but we just want to know GTO practices so we can either exploit our opponent who's playing that way or just have some foundation on what to do in certain spots. All right, we got King Jack. We open under the gun and button shoves on us. My initial thought here is when they're jamming into under the gun, their ranges are very, very strong. So we're going to only want to be calling with very strong. So here we go. We have very, very, very condensed calling range here. So pure at 8s plus, all the way up to aces. And then we have all of our strong suited aces and our strongest offsuit aces. King Queen is mixing, King Jack is mixing. And these are suited ones. They're mixing. Probably, I mean, you could use an RNG or you could maybe just use knowledge on your opponent if you have any history. If they're really tight, probably muck these and definitely muck these. If they're 3-betting a lot, you could maybe play these, but keep in mind they are 3-betting under the gun. So yeah, King Jack offsuit, not really going to be a call. So we fold it. All right, Ace 8 offsuit. We're on the cutoff, but we have an under the gun open, so this is going to influence our range quite a bit. It's going to tighten us up. We're going to not have nearly as many hands. You can see here how little hands. Blue is fold, green is call, red is raise. So we have a lot of folding. 87% of our hands are folding. The random outlier, well, not random. You see this a lot, but Ace 5 suited is gonna come along. Ace 4 for feeling spicy at a 25% clip. It's actually that's quite a lot. And then we have like 5 plus pure, and we do have some raises. So we're raising under the gun with 8s plus, and we are mixing 8s to 10s, but jacks, queens, and kings basically raising pure, aces going for the trap. Ace king off, ace queen off, raising, and then we've got like some nice strong suited kings that are raising as well, just so we're not only raising this 6 hands. The solver always looks for balance. And really, we're not trying to memorize charts. We're trying to look at trends. We're trying to learn what the solver's looking to do. Our raises are never just one thing. There's always raises that are value, and then there's raises that have like good blockers and good playability. We do have position on under the gun. We're on the cutoff. So King Queen suited, very playable. King 9 suited, very playable. All these hands very playable. And these ones are just strong hands that also block a lot of their strong combos that are going to call us. So they could be opening 2s or something, and we could fold those out. And we'll fold this because under the gun opens. What's going on here? Let's check out the action. So we opened to 2. They went to 6. We went to 13, 6, 5. They jam. King King's a snap. We don't want to necessarily only study this specific hand. We want to look at what the solver's reacting to with their whole range. So by the time we get to the 5-bet, we still have ace 5 and ace 4 suited in there, which is pretty wild, right? And I don't think a lot of us are doing this, getting in 40 bigs with ace 5 suited. I've done it. I don't do it all the time. So the ones that go all the way to the 5-bet but fold, that's kind of a cool thing to look at. So we can go the distance with ace jack and fold it. Ace queen off. We can fold these. King jack suited, king 10 suited, ace 9 suited. It's always good to check it out. And they have 10s here. King 8 suited. We open under the gun, and under the gun 2 immediately 3-bets us. So obviously here we're going to have a very, very tight range. We're going to have some suited kings, but I don't think we're going to have King 8. We're calling with King 10, King Jack, King Queen suited. We're raising King 6 suited. King 6, you'll see this in the solvers a lot. It's kind of like the ace 5. It finds its way in to balance out our value stuff. And then every ace 5 is just jamming here. Ace 4 is jamming a lot. And I think that's gonna offset our ace king off jams. This is a early 3-bet, and we are calling with this part of the pairs and jamming this part. I like that ace is like mixing. It's not just like straight up wanting to call. Ace queen's getting in there. King queen. Also, our suited kings are calling, and we're ripping our strong pairs. We're calling a lot of our lower pairs. We're also calling low suited stuff. So this low suited stuff is going to kind of balance out this stuff as well. The other thing that's nice about these hands, if we're thinking about why these hands are valuable, it's because they have really good equity against a lot of this part of the board. And due to the nature of how early the 3-bet was, they're going to have a lot of pairs, and they're going to have a ton of Broadway, double Broadway. So against the double Broadway hand, something like 6-5, 6-7, 7-8, and 9-8, we're unblocked, we're suited, and we're connected. So we have like really good equity against something like ace queen offsuit, something like that. This one's going to be a fold though. So this is 25 to 50 big blinds, which is kind of like where you'd be in the middle of most tournaments. This is pretty easy. It's gonna be just a call. Watch it be a raise. Oh, it's got a little bit of raise. It does have a little bit. It's primarily a call though, 63%. But it actually is it's actually one of the more favorable candidates for a raise. We got this little chunk here. And then like cool thing here is like we have the strong jams. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strong jams, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like combine these two to make about 5. Like you can just see how perfectly balanced the solver is. It becomes predictable. Like I have not used solvers enough to be able to like just know it's going to do this specific strategy, but a lot of people are there. They know exactly what the solver would do, and then they can use that as a foundation, right? Just looking at how the non-all-ins are balanced, so we've got like the value stuff, so like, you know, 6 combos or so, and then we've got probably like 1 combo there, 2, and then all these little slivers add up to 3 or 4, so, and a little bit here as well. So it just comes down to like being very balanced. In this particular regard, we have king 9. Let's do a call and hopefully play a flop. So we're on the big blind, and we get an okay board for us. It's not smashing low jack's range, but pretty much on this board, we're going to have like just a ton of checks. So we have like 97%. The most we're raising is 7s, which makes a lot of sense. It's an underpair. It doesn't have a lot of EV from continuing. It wants to try and take it down. The nice thing about 7s is if we turn like a 5 or even a 9, we open up some more outs. But even 7s are pretty much checking the majority of the time. So yeah, we're checking range. Not a huge surprise here. Check it. They go for a really big bet here. They are going to be doing that with 9s, 10s, and as they go up in over pairs, they'll be betting smaller. But say they have like Jack 8, they're going to probably go a little smaller, but like an ace 8 would go big, because if we have an 8 and we're on the big blind, so we have a lot of 8x, they can destroy us if we have like 10-8. Let's just check it out, see if I'm even close. So let's go top pair. So yeah, as you can see here, their ace 8 and their king 8 offsuit are really going big. And this is something I picked up recently, because I was thinking about it the opposite. I was like, I have a really good kicker. My 8x isn't that vulnerable. In reality, when you have the ace or the king with the 8 here, you want to send money in because you want them to also have an 8 and destroy them. And it's been working really good in real practice as well. Like a jack high flop, if you have ace jack, so many people would just have like queen jack and king jack, and they just never fold.